Showtime's Steven Espinoza doesn't see the need to do a joint Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia pay-per-view. He explains why. I'm going to explain what's going on right here in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Let's jump right into it. Steven Espinoza, he did an interview with FightHype, and he talked about the issue of Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia. They both are represented by different people. Tank is represented by PBC, advised by Al Heyman with Mayweather Promotions, has been fighting on Showtime, and Ryan has been fighting with DAZN, and DAZN and Golden Boy just re-upped and did some kind of deal. Oscar De La Hoya went on record and did an interview and said that he can't make the fight unless DAZN is involved. This is what Steven Espinoza had to say regarding that. Quote, in my personal opinion, it does not make sense to do a joint pay-per-view. I don't think people appreciate how difficult and painful and time-consuming it is when you have to have mutual approval on every little detail. Forget the big stuff about how much are you going to spend on marketing and what's the marketing plan, all that kind of stuff. You remember Mayweather-Pacquiao. That one was such a difficult process. Remember, the tickets didn't go on sale until a week before, and that's because people have different business practices and disagreements. I'm not saying that would happen with DAZN. I just think we've done it in boxing for 2 fights. We've done it for Lewis versus Tyson, so Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis, and we did it for Mayweather-Pacquiao. With all due respect to Ryan and Tank, this fight is not that big. It's not as big as those. There are other ways to resolve this. I think there are other fair ways to do this. We've done it for Lewis Tyson, and we did it for Mayweather-Pacquiao. And he's saying that those were like big, massive fights versus Tank Davis and Ryan. You know, people want to see it for sure. And it's one of the biggest fights in modern boxing. But I'll explain my side in a minute after I get through these quotes of, I want to give you my thoughts. Steven Espinoza continued by saying, I think everyone immediately goes to joint pay-per-view. Okay, I understand why DAZN wants that. They want relevance here in the United States, which they have very little of at this point. Having said that, there are plenty of ways of cases to do this, whether it's a Munguia situation where you start talking about the rematch for the second fight and you can flip-flop. There are cases where what Top Rank did with Lomachenko, they let him go collect a belt on DAZN and come back. From what I've heard from DAZN, they're pretty set on joint pay-per-view with Tank and Ryan fight. I think in their case, they should let Ryan go and collect a belt if they think he's going to beat Tank, and then come back and continue the rest of his career, and they all live happily ever after. That's my personal viewpoint. Now, I'm not the only opinion in this whole thing, so if the fighters come together and reach an agreement, and I get a call and say, hey, we've reached an agreement with Ryan's side and Golden Boy, and it's going to have to be a split pay-per-view, then again, I'm not going to walk away. But if you ask me how I would restructure this deal, no, I wouldn't go down the road for a joint pay-per-view. It's a good question regarding how many pay-per-view buys the fight would do, right? He said that's a good question, but there's always a wild card. Sometimes you put a fight together, it catches fire beyond what you expect. Sometimes it catches the imagination. Even Mayweather and Pacquiao and McGregor went way beyond what people expected. So I'm getting damn good at my job. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the channel, and comment. SLC. I'm getting damn good, y'all. Damn good. Hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. Ego Stradamus strikes again. I told you, like, people don't understand this element about the boxing game. It's a business. They understand that. But here's the thing. In the history of boxing, there's only been a handful of fights that involve 2 major networks coming together to do a joint pay-per-view, period. I've said this. I'm going to say it again. Nothing has changed. Steven Espinoza, hearing him say this stuff in the interview, it only reaffirmed what I've already been telling you on the channel. This is why you guys got to subscribe. It only corroborates everything that I've said. There's only been a handful of fights from Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, as he mentioned, Mayweather-Pacquiao. You know, I would even consider Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, because you had the big organization in the UFC working with Showtime, you know, to at least release the fighter, things like that. So there was somewhat of a combine right there, right? Where it was cross merchandising, if you will. This Ryan versus Tank fight, this is DAZN. DAZN, they've made so many bad decisions. I don't even know where to begin. I really don't. For one, they have Eddie Hearn as a frontman. Eddie Hearn came to America, not being from America, a British promoter, and he was talking greasy. He was saying stuff like, oh, we're about to take over the landscape, and American promoters, they're going to be shaking in their boots, and we're going to destroy them. Showtime will be out of business, and people above Steven Espinoza's head will, you know, put them on the chopping block and cancel their boxing programming. Now they want to scream peace, and they want to work together. Really not how business works. It's deeper than that, but I'm just giving you guys the cliff notes. You guys got to check some of my other work so you will know and be well informed. Eddie Hearn, who works with DAZN, also snaked Showtime and pulled Anthony Joshua off of the Showtime network, and they had invested a lot of money trying to give him an American profile. And it was doing well until they pulled him and then put him on DAZN. So there's other things. So there's just little frictions like that where you could see this being a problem. Second of all, we don't really know how many paying consumers will buy the fight. Yeah, like off the top of my head, it seems like it'll be a big fight, but the reality is the Gervonta Davis is the only one with provable stats. I don't care about Ryan Garcia Instagram following, because that doesn't necessarily translate to paying customers. If that was the case, if his 9 million followers on Instagram translates to US dollars, then how come he has never sold more than Tank Davis? He has never outsold Tank Davis, right? Tank has less followers on Instagram, but his live gates are bigger. So there's no actual way to quantify or classify what Ryan's star power is. Now, again, you add two people with a brand together, it generally probably would do good numbers. But Ryan has not pulled his weight in that regard. They've never, if this is my suggestion, put Ryan Garcia on pay-per-view with Eastside Pitbull Cruz. Like, let's say PBC sends Eastside Pitbull Cruz to Golden Boy and DAZN. Put that fight on there, put it on pay-per-view. Ryan saying he'll whoop Eastside Pitbull Cruz and release the pay-per-view numbers. That's a mutual opponent. Ryan Garcia saying he'll beat Cruz. Gervonta Davis had an injured hand versus Cruz and went 12 rounds with Cruz. So that would be a good statement win. And then DAZN released their pay-per-view numbers to show that Ryan Garcia has true drawing power and what he brings to the table. But at this point, we don't know what Ryan, none of DAZN, all their numbers are private. You don't really even know what Ryan Garcia is doing. But just from me being a boxing reporter and being in the game, I could tell you Ryan Garcia's fights and events don't have the same luster, because I can tell I get paid off of boxing. And when Ryan fights Emmanuel Togos, people aren't blowing up my comment section asking about it. So we don't even really know who Ryan's true fan base is, right? We really don't. So I'm not holding my breath that this fight will happen. You know, maybe they can get it together and get it done. But to me, I think DAZN is looking at this for a lifesaver. They've made so many bad decisions. Like, they signed Joshua to a lifetime deal, and then his first fight, which is supposed to be part of that lifetime deal, against Usyk in the UK, where he's from, they don't even have the rights to the fight. The Saudis sold him to Sky Sports, a rival promoter. So you got to get Sky box office to watch the fight. That's why they're making cockamamie fights like Eubank versus Ben, you know, to try to play up off of the names of their famous fathers. You know, so at the end of the day, Ryan versus Tank, I think Tank, like I've always said, he's in the A side, he's the driver's seat. So it really falls, Tank should be able to call the show. And then if they're so confident Ryan winning, then maybe do the rematch, like Steven Espinoza is saying, do the rematch on DAZN. So if Ryan wins, he said he's going to knock out Tank. Okay, so you knock him out, and then you get the lion's share of the money in the rematch, and you get it on DAZN, which is your home network. So that sounds like a reasonable deal. Let me know what you guys think. SLC, subscribe, like, and comment for the latest in boxing. Hit him up. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.